In this lesson, you'll learn to write arrow functions. So here we have a function. This is a standard function, and with modern JavaScript you can write arrow functions as well. So there are certain differences between the regular function and arrow function, and we will discover the differences as we progress, as we continue to build the application later. But for the moment, let's see how we can take this standard function and convert it to arrow function. Okay, so first let's create a constant variable. Let's call it sum, and we're going to assign this function to this variable. Okay, so this function will be arrow function. So arrow function begins with the parenthesis, so you pass the arguments there. So in this case a and b. Okay, and then to return, you write the arrow here, then you write curly braces and return like so. Okay, so in a similar way. So this is how you can write arrow function. So let me comment this out for now. Okay, let me save this file. Let me get rid of this as well. So we have the function, we are exporting just like we did before, just a subtle difference here. And here in app.js, let me get rid of this, and let's uncomment all this and give it a try. So all we did here is we just changed the function to the arrow function. Okay, so let's come back here and let's run node app.js, and we still see the result. So arrow function definitely works, right? But there is much more you can do with arrow function. As you can see here, we have only one statement. Okay, we don't have multi-line statement. It is just one line statement. So in such case, you can get rid of the curly braces. We can get rid of the return keyword as well, and put it all in one line. Okay, very much simplified, and this works perfectly fine. Okay, so if you have only one line return statement, you don't need return keyword, you don't need curly braces, you can just write everything in one line. Okay, come back here, give it a try one more time, perfectly works. Okay, with arrow functions, for example, let's say you didn't have any arguments, you're writing a function that doesn't require any arguments. In that case, you still need to have the empty parenthesis like so. Okay, so if that was the case, you would have it like that. What if you had only one argument instead of a and b? What if you had only one argument? Then you don't need to have the parenthesis. You could just have it like that. Okay, just the argument without parenthesis. That also works. Okay, so arrow function is pretty cool. It is short, it is easy to understand, it is easy to use, and most importantly, there is one big difference between the regular function and arrow function, and that is these arrow functions don't have their own context. So if you are using this keyword within the arrow function, they would point to the enclosing context. Okay, because they don't have their own context. Okay, so that is something to keep in mind. There is a difference between arrow function and the regular function, and the difference comes when you use this keyword. So if we come across later with this situation, obviously I will explain, otherwise you don't need to stress about it. Okay, so basically this is how you can write the same function using arrow function, which is very cool. Now what else we can do here? We are currently exporting like this. Now there is a simplified way of exporting such methods in Node.js. What you can do is instead of writing like that, that is perfectly fine, but what you can also do is you can directly use exports dot the variable name, and this variable is returning a function, right? So this also works. So the entire code is now simplified to one line. Okay, so save this file and go here and give it a try one more time. Perfect. See, so using the arrow functions and using the exports directly, we can simplify our code and it is much more readable. Now later you might create many functions. You can always use exports, and that's how it works. It's nice and easy. Okay, so we did quite a lot of refactoring here. You understand about arrow functions. You understand how to export nice and easy using directly the exports, right? And we are requiring here, and everything is there as usual. Okay.